Men, what is the funniest thing to happen to you while having sex? I'll share my story. At the time, my girlfriend and I were 69ing. Well, she likes me using ice cubes, so I grabbed one, laid down, and let her get on top. About a minute in, the ice cube melted just enough to where I somehow let it slip and went straight into my throat, choking me out for a few seconds. I threw her off me and she fell on the floor all in a panic. Only a few seconds later I swallowed the whole thing and we were laughing with tears and called it a night. I was going down on my girlfriend and my cat decided it was a good time to jump on the bed and just stand on my bare ass for a few seconds. Imagine feeling two little paws on each cheek and try not to laugh. Going down on my fiancée, she's about to climax and the tension forces out a one-clap firecracker of a fart which startles me so much that I jump back in shock and fall off the bed into a crumpled heap on the floor. Much laughs were had. 2009. When trying to lose my virginity, went round to my GF of the time's house. Her parents didn't know we were together as she went to a Catholic girls' school. Her mom had taken her little sister to swimming, so was going to be gone for an hour at least, all the time in the world. Her car pulls off the drive, so I then enter. 15 minutes foreplay and we're getting ready, making sure we are both okay with this. Car pulls up. Mom and sister get out. Shit. I fly down the stairs, no time to get dressed and have to go out the back door. In the garden wearing my boxers, holding my clothes and shoes and try to open the gate to get out. Not opening. It turns out that the gate is broken and this single mother has never gotten around to fixing it, so it is permanently wedged shut. I throw all my weight behind it and boot the gate through and it flies open. The noise has now attracted the mother and the next door neighbors who think it's a break-in. I am now hiding behind a bin as they've came out the house and are stood at the end of the alley contemplating whether to call the police or check it out. I am quickly getting my clothes on. My GF texts me they're calling the police, it's now or never. I put my hands over my face and sprint out past them, and down the road, stopping to hide down the canal. Stayed down the canal for about 3 hours, sat in a bush. All because we had planned to lose our virginity. It turned out the mother took the daughter swimming lesson, but the daughter wanted to go to the cinema instead. They got there and there was nothing to watch, so they came home. The only time that it ever happened in a year of weekly lessons. I simply replied an obvious statement with another. Oh, there's only one condom. Well, there's only one dick. She laughed for 5 minutes straight. What is the most insane thing you have overlooked, for the sake of getting laid? 20-year-old stripper whose husband was in jail. Husband got out and firebombed my car in her driveway. She legit stole my wallet the first time we hooked up. It had $200 in it. Sex was so damn good I just made sure I hid my wallet and valuables for rounds 2 to 4. Upfront payment? That she was crazy. One of the first things she said to me while making out at a party was, "They all say I'm crazy, but I'm really not." My 2020 hindsight determined that was a lie. The last girl I dated told me she liked holding a knife to her ex's neck while he slept because she fantasized about murder and wanted to see what it felt like. That's not a red flag, that's the entire Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. We went back to her house after the bar and her dog shit in the middle of the living room. She picked it up barehanded and threw it out the back door. Those of you who've walked out on first dates, what was your "I'm out of here" moment? She said she was into pool, so we went to a bar to play a couple of games. It was a bar she was a regular at, and at one point about 4 of her friends showed up. The girl I was there with asked if I wanted another beer while they all went to the bar. After they got a round of drinks and shots, the bartender waved me over, and asked if I wanted them all on my tab. Apparently she'd said I was cool with it. I just laughed and shook my head. He said, "If you dip right now I'll handle it, bro." Never even turned around to look at her, got some wings on the way home, and had a great night. That bartender was a saint. I think I might hold the world record on this one because I once walked out after pretty much 1 second. I matched with a girl on Bumble. I talked to her for a week or so about the usual stuff. Plans for the future, interests and hobbies, those things. I had a weird feeling about her, but I couldn't really put my finger on what it was. Anyway, she actually asked to meet up after a week and already had a time and place in mind. I thought, wow, someone who actually knows what she wants. And I said yes on the spot. We didn't make exact plans what to do. She said we could just come up with stuff on the spot because we were in a big city, and I agreed. Fast forward to that date. I went to the bus and started heading towards the place where we were supposed to meet up. It was a relatively large open space in the middle of the city, and I texted her where exactly we'll meet there and how I'll recognize her. About 5 minutes before my bus arrived, she started replying that she's waiting near the bus stop. She, however, didn't tell me what she was wearing, but instead told me she's the girl standing with 2 or more other guys. I didn't really get what kind of description that was or who those guys are. I joked if she joined some kind of city tour or how did she end up waiting there with other people. Then she started explaining that her plan for this date was that we would hang out as a group. And the group was her and several guys she met on Bumble and Tinder. I asked her that I probably misunderstood what we're doing here and I thought this was a date, not some kind of meetup. But she just replied that it is a date but it's just with several guys so we can compete for her. I had no idea what the hell was going on. I just messaged her that I don't get it. She started explaining about some TV show where guys are all into one girl and she would vote out one guy after another until only one was left. I just stared at the screen for a minute or so actually contemplating to go to this weird circus shit that was going on here. My bus stopped and I realized I was there. I walked out. I did see a girl standing there with 3 guys. I don't know if she saw me or not, but I just turned around, walked back onto the bus. I blocked her on Bumble and just kept riding that bus until I was back home. When I was polite to the waitress and she screamed at me, "Would you rather be on a date with her then?" I really hope you just answered, yes, and walked away lol. With the waitress. When I realized she wasn't the one in the picture from the dating site. We were at a restaurant and the waitress came over and gave the standard greeting, "Welcome to. Can I start you off with some drinks?" I order a water and a drink and then looked at my date and said, "And whatever she is getting." My date then looked at me, looked at the waitress, looked back at me with a confused look on her face. So I asked, was she okay or need more time to look? My date then clears her throat and asked me if I knew the waitress. I said no. Why? The date then went on a rant on why the waitress was talking to me and looking my direction when she should only be talking to and looking at her. I was shocked and was like, what? She then goes on about how if me and the waitress has something going on, just let her know now. At this point I looked at the waitress and told her to cancel my drink order, apologized to her, then I got up and left. When I got to my car I blocked the date's number and everything. First date, we're meeting at a new pizza place in town. She tells me to get out of my car first. She then sees me and laughs going, "That's your tiny ass car?" We're in line to create our own pizza, we're talking, mid-conversation she pulls out her phone and blocks me on Tinder and Snap visibly in front of me. Walked out in the middle of our dinner as she's asking me where I'm going. Edit, for everyone asking, my first car was a '06 Scion SA. Throughout the dinner date she made fun of me and being condescending for having a job while she's an aspiring entrepreneur who's gonna build her own empire. Multi-level marketing, right? Candles and stretch pants or essential oils? Men of Reddit, what is the most disgusting thing you do in private? Only asking because my brother, a grown-ass 24-year-old man, is currently in the bathroom taking a dump while eating a bowl of Lucky Charms. Update. He literally came out of the bathroom asking if we have a plunger. I found rock candy on the dirtiest floor of my car, got super excited and put it in my mouth. It was just a rock. I have pissed out my bedroom window because I was too lazy to walk someplace more appropriate. My buddy told me he used to do this thing he called the cement belly. He'd come all over his belly and chest every day and just rub it in. Your buddy? Scratch and sniff. Use wet wipes to finger my asshole after pooping to get it as clean as possible. Yeah, sure. Clean. Right.